This presentation will show you how to complete one of the Automation Studio labs required for this course. If you take a look at the example here, the air filter, all these labs are based on the component work order labs that you should complete prior to doing the Automation Studio. The action required here is to use the Automation Studio software. You will be opening up a new file, inserting the component schematic or symbol that best represents the component that you're working on, and then adding some manufacturer's data to the build or technical fields for each component. And then you will save the filter and place that file in my D2L Dropbox. So I'm going to just run you through the example here, how this should be done. First of all, if you take a look at the work order that you would have completed, the air filter work order lab, you notice that you had to go out and look up a manufacturer, visit their website, and research information on a specific model. Once you found that information, you were able to access maximum flow. In this case, we're looking at an air filter, both in PSI, G, and then also bar. What is the maximum supply pressure, some of the operating temperature limitations, and filtration ratings. All this information is very critical when we build our schematic and symbols in the Automation Studio. When you visit the manufacturer's reference material, I would certainly recommend that you save the PDF files that showcase all the information as shown here for, in this case, the Wilkerson filter assembly. It's very helpful for later reference. It gives you information regarding the industry recognized symbols shown over here on the left, and then obviously all the information regarding the specification and performance characteristics of each model in that series. So if we go into Automation Studio, what we want to do is go to the pneumatic symbols, at least the categories that would best reference that particular unit. In this case, we are now looking at pressure controls, and in this case we're looking at fluid conditioning devices. So here we bring up filters, we go down here into the library, and again, if we go back to the Wilkerson, they have manual and auto drains. I believe the model that you're working on is a manual drain unit. So we'd want to simply select that, drag it over onto your workstation or your drawing. And then by clicking on the component, you can update some of the technical data. So if we click on the technical data, what we need to enter here is the maximum flow and pressure ratings. So again, you have to use those PDF files, and here you can see the flow ratings and CFM for different port sizes, and then also the maximum pressure. So in this case, if we use the quarter with a metal bowl, we're at 50 CFM and 250 PSI G. So we'll want to enter that into the Automation Studio information. The next step is to update the catalog information regarding this component. Here you'll insert the part number, and to be exact, you want to complete the whole part number, and this part of Automation Studio would be for the situations where you want to purchase and send the information regarding a circuit to the purchasing department. The purchasing agents could reference the part number, a catalog description, and then even more importantly, the manufacturer who makes that component. Most likely you won't know the unit price or the discount structure, so you can leave those fields blanks. But it's kind of like building a house. You want to make sure you're very detailed and get the foundation built for all these products, so that as you move on through Automation Studio, all this data is available and saved. Last thing here is displayed information. About the only thing you need to display here, because the ports are not identified by the manufacturer, you can unclick those, but we certainly want to display the component name on the file and apply that. And then you can close this, and then you'll notice that the manual drain filter is associated with that symbol. You can grab that manual drain filter description there and move it around simply by clicking on it, moving it to a more appropriate location where it won't interfere with airlines. The last step here is I need you to save this file as a project. So you'll save as, and you'll want to call this filter assembly. And that way, when you submit this file for your Dropbox, I will be able to open this up and be able to take a look at all the specifications you have assigned. The other thing that we'll do in this section here before we close out is we're going to open up and create a personalized library just for the components that will be used in this course. You can go up here in the Library Explorer where you see this book with a plus. You can click on that and you can create your own library name, and I would like you to use ENTS Pneumatics. And then you'll see that you have a whole tab under your Library Explorer that's just for symbols that would be used for this course and that you've created. All you have to do then is take your component that you've created and slide that into the inventory list down here in the lower left. Click it and it will update, and you will now have a manual drain specific to that Wilkerson model. And then each time you open up the Automation Studio, you will have the main library symbols and then also your ENTS pneumatic symbols available. And this will be a shortcut. As we complete this course, we will be building a circuit, and you'll be able to grab these symbols and drag them out onto your project drawings. That concludes this demonstration.